Everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 39 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of FTB Skies, where I'm making Swift alloys. Remember last episode I got that all automated and stuff? The reason I'm making those is the quest that I have going on here, the next one, Swift Mana, gets me an everlasting guilty pool, which is awesome, and I really want one. So to make that, I need some Swift alloys, which I'm submitting now. I need some Destiny, no problem, and Terra steel, which I haven't started automating yet. But maybe we should look at making a few of those, mostly because we're going to need a few of those. So maybe I should automate it. Does that sound like a plan? I don't know if I have enough mana just yet, but I think we could automate this guy. Let's see. How do we want to do this? So we need those guys, and I know you guys all yelled at me for not using the open crate from Britannia. So let's see, drop. No, it's not called dropper. It's called open crate, right? So let's see, open. There it is, open crate. So it's a Britannia build. We might as well use Britannia automation, right? Does that sound cool? I think that sounds cool. So let's do that. So we will place the thing, and then we'll get a place there. And now I want to automate it with applied energistics, and I have a cool idea of a way to do this. Okay. I might need a hopper. I'm not sure. Let's get one just in case. And then I'm going to need an interface, which should be easy enough. Got a bunch of them. Cool. And a lot of cables. So let's see. Where am I at with channels over here? I got a nice cable that runs pretty close. So that's cool. 29 out of 32. I can handle that. So we're only going to add one more channel to this line. Do I need a P2P here? Let's see. Where's this cutoff? Nope. We're good. I can totally just tap right into here. Boop. And then, yeah, we'll just run this cable line all the way across. So there's a new feature of interfaces that I haven't played with yet, and I want to try, because I feel like this is the perfect use case for it. So I'll pop down my interface here, and then I'll, do the thing, connect up the cables. Probably went a little bit long on that one. Yep, I did. It's funny how you can kind of tell when you're going to do that. So now let's pop and get the automation set up. So all we need for Terra Steel is the 3 mana resources. And by the way, I totally want to check out this guy at some point, this whole mod, because I'm curious. Botanic Editions, haven't played with it yet. So it's on my to-do. But maybe once we have unlimited mana from the Everlasting Guilty Pool, why did that... Oh, duh, yes. I need pattern providers. Yeah, Dara knows what he's doing there. We totally need pattern providers. Look, for years, it was interfaces. And also, in refined storage, it's interfaces. What do you want? Dyer's been doing this a long time. His brain sometimes forgets how things work. All right, so I also need to vacuum this up. So what should we use for an item collection? Because we don't want it to suck up the mana pearls and mana steel, right? So I could do modular routers, vacuum module, or I could probably... I don't think we have advanced collectors in this pack, right? I don't see advanced collectors anywhere, which is a bummer because that's a good mod. There's the item collector from Cyclic. Yeah, I was hoping Advanced Collectors was in the pack, but I guess not. But, I could do the vacuumulator from Thermal. That sounds good. Remember I said I was playing with the experience collection features of that thing? Yeah, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But I can use it here because I can use Thermal to make a filter. The item filter here, you can autocraft the Signalum for me. Easy peasy. And boom. And then can we drag from JEI here? I remember for the longest time you couldn't, but maybe that's... Oh, good, that's in now. Awesome. Good job, Lemming. I'm proud. So now you'll only vacuum up Terra Steel, which is what we want. So the thing that I wanted to show you guys, after I validate that this pickup doesn't work, is this new feature of the pattern provider. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you know what I should do? I should also hook up extracts here. Now that I'm thinking about it. There we go. Cool. So now we'll pull our Terra Steel out of that thing, and we're good to go. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, let's also remove my magnet, because as I'm about to test this thing, we don't want my magnet sucking up the items. Now, before I go to craft this, let's check this out, right? So, blocking mode. Ignore the contents of the target inventory. Do not push crafting ingredients if it contains an input. So that's not the one I want to do. What I want to do is lock crafting until primary crafting result is returned. So in theory, what will happen is it'll drop one set of resources, and then it'll lock the crafter until it gets the Terra steel ingot. And then when it gets the Terra steel ingot, it'll be allowed to drop another set. So let's start with a basic just drop it, right? And then boom, 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 we're crafting the Terra steel, and crafting is unlocked. Cool. So now let's do like 10 of them, or 3 of them, I guess. I need more of those things. I haven't auto-crafted these yet, but I'll just do them by hand real fast, just to, you know, to test out my new automation. Because I want to see if this is as cool looking as it looks like it will be. Right? I think this will be cool. Is that good? Items everywhere because I'm not wearing my magnet, of course. As one would expect. Alright, now Terra Steel. Just do like 10 of them. Alright. And it's making one, and it's locked. And then it drops another batch, and it's locked again. That is cool. That is awesome. I very much like that. I think that's the first time I've used this mechanic from A2, and that is super useful for patterns like this. Because you just know, like, it's not going to be allowed to craft the next batch until it gets one thing returned. That's perfect for this kind of crafting mechanic, right? Like, how good is that for Terra Steel and other things like it that are like, hey, just insert one set of ingredients and don't try and craft again until you get your output. Like, that's awesome. Now, in terms of mana, we probably don't quite have the mana that we need to get all the Terra Steel, which is ironic because we're about to get, you know, infinite mana, but we need to make a whole lot of Terra Steel before we can do that. So we're probably going to have to wait here for our experience. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure that we used about half of what we had, so we're going to be a little bit less than 10 more before we run out of mana here. So we're going to have to wait for our little experience thing. I don't think there's a good way to, like, speed or tick accelerate this up, unfortunately. I think we'll just be patient and maybe work on a couple other things while we're waiting for the mana to recharge. That sounds like a plan, right? I think so. Yeah, completely out of mana at this point, which is a bummer. Luckily, Terra Steel crafting will sit there and you know, keep going while mana is generating. So not a big deal. That's alright. I'm cool with that. Alright, so do I have any more mana tablets? I don't think so. I just have the one. Yeah, these things are really empty. I could drain a little bit of mana here just to speed this last one up. I guess I might as well. Why not? Just a little bit, though. I do want to have some mana in my tablet, you know. That'll at least finish the one that I have over there. But I think there's one more after this. Okay. Yeah, so we definitely need to wait for this stuff to finish. So maybe we should work on some other things while we're waiting for it. Let's look at what other quests we have here in the Overpowered chapter, right? So next up we need a lot of Blaze Rods, some Nether Stars, and some Crying Obsidian. And I'll get a couple cool things out of that. So let's go look at my Blaze Rods. How am I for Blaze Rods? 512? So I'm halfway there. All I really got to do is bump up my functional storage drawer. So let's do that. Let's just, you know, give myself more Blaze Rod storage. And by the time we get to needing those Blaze Rods, hopefully we'll have 1,000. Is that cool? That works for me. And remember, we have the Blaze Farm in the Wither, or in the Nether. So not a problem with that. What else do we need? Crying Obsidian? That one might be easier said than done. What are my options for making Crying Obsidian? I need 128 of those, and I have 30-ish. So I know I've been getting them out of, like, loot chests, which is an option. Anti-protonic nucleosynthesis, maybe, or B conversion with Draconic. So here's the thing. I could go for the dungeon chests in the nether and just explore the nether and get as much crying obsidian as I can find. That doesn't sound like a fun way to do it. This way is what I'm leaning towards, mostly because I think for other quests, I'm going to have to get into that anyway. Let's see. So no. Ooh, I get a creative motor, though, from Create. That's cool. Now I get a creative ME mana cell. Is that unlimited mana in the form of I already have unlimited mana. Why are you giving me that as a quest reward? That's not an exciting reward. Runic stuff. Nothing exciting, really, in that one. That's kind of a boring bunch of rewards. But easy enough to get, I presume. Yeah, gem dust, that's easy. Deeper and farther will get me a creative energy cell, flight totem, creative controller from refined, and the creative element outputs from elemental craft. I'm assuming those are the creative ones, yeah. So those are all pretty good and looks easy enough to make. See, look, there's plutonium. So I told you we would need to get into mechanism reactors for some of the quests. There you go, we need to make plutonium. So we have to do mechanism reactors just for the plutonium. What else do we got here? DT fuel. We don't technically need a reactor for that, so that's not a big deal. Fluxed fire, but Gaia spirits, which is cool because I want to get into that other mod. Some dimensional shard ore, which I'm sure I could just mine up. Eye of Ender. I should bump up my storage for Ender pearls if we need 1,000 Eyes of Ender. It's not a crazy amount, but you know, having more storage wouldn't be a bad idea. Yep, a little more Ender pearl storage would be good. That works out. I don't think I'm too worried about that stuff. And then we have enough blaze, so we're good there. Dimensional shard ore, I'm sure we could, you know, mine up with RF Tools miner. Dragon breath, not a problem. Generalized prediction, we probably already have that. End fibers, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Bunch of food, some 16K storage disks, not a big deal. I'm not too worried. All this stuff shouldn't be too bad, though I will have to get into occultism. No problem there. Oh, good. I do have to get into botanic additions. So there you go. We're going to have to do that. And that'll get me creative source jar, so that's cool. And then some cyclic stuff, some Ad Astra stuff, Botania endgame stuff. Nothing too crazy there. Time torches from Forcecraft, okay. And then finally, we do need antimatter pellets. Called it. I knew we would need antimatter. I knew that would be in there somewhere. So there you go. We definitely have to get into mechanism reactors. So, and this is the good news about this. Using the stuff to make crying obsidian is not expensive. 1 millibucket of antimatter is nothing. The unfortunate cost is the 1,000 millibuckets of antimatter that you need to make a single pellet. That's the expensive bit. But 1 millibucket of antimatter is like nothing. Like, that's fine. So we can make the crying obsidian pretty easily if we knock out a reactor, right? Now, how's my Terra steel doing, by the way? Oh, good. My last one finished. So now we're recharging our mana pools a little bit. So that's looking good. Cool. All right. So let me start programming some mechanism stuff, and we'll be right back. Does that sound cool? So yeah, be right back. Okay, so we're back now. What I've done is I've kicked off another batch of Terra steel, which is going to take a while, but that's okay. I've also programmed into the AE system here a bunch of the mechanism stuff for fission and fusion reactor, or just fission in the turbine. So what I'll do is I'll quickly let this craft and then come right back. So there we go. Crafted all the things we need for the turbine. So turbine on the bottom, reactor on the top, and then what we can do is keep an eye on the Terra steel while we're working on that. It's going to be a little while. So where do we want to build this thing? This is kind of the question. Let's get an angel block first, because I want to do this far enough away from my base so that if we do have one of Dyer's famous nuclear accidents, we don't regret it too badly, right? And I can clean up my inventory just a little bit. There's a few pieces of junk in here I don't need. So this is my creatish area. This is my magical area. So I'm thinking maybe off in this distance here. Does that sound cool? We'll get like far enough away from my base that we can barely still see it. And then I'll plop down a angel block and be good to go. Works for me. Okay. And then we can use, let's see, I want to make sure I'm chunk aligned as well, because I want to keep my reactors and everything in there. So built up a big platform, looking cool. Platform looks nice. 2 chunks currently so far. And now I can start building. So I'm going to do that off camera as usual, or at least as usual as it has become. So hey look, reactor's up. Hooray! I told you we'd do this quickly. So fully standard 5x5x5 reactor, you know, the usual one that I build. Nothing too different than usual. I'm filling it with water now, courtesy of a pair of sinks. In the back here is probably where I'll wind up sticking, you know, the heat overload guys. So I'll get my logic adapters and place them. Easy peasy. We'll do some reactor ports here. We'll just do one in the middle. That should be enough for the steam, right? I don't see why not. And then one up top for, yeah, that looks good. Looks good to me. Cool. And then we'll output coolant here. And let's get one more set of these. One for nuclear waste output and one for input. Yeah, that should be cool. I like here. That works. And then I'll have my turbine on the right. We'll set up you know, the nuclear waste processing over here. I don't know. I haven't completely planned it all out yet, but we'll stick stuff wherever it fits. I mean, you've watched enough Direwolf at this point to know I don't always have a plan. I'm just kind of winging it. All right, so hey, look who built an industrial turbine entirely off camera. Hooray! And it's good to go, right? So all I need is a couple ports here, and this should be easy peasy. Right? One port for the steam coming in and one port for the energy going out. So bada bing. And we're all chunk aligned. And the water will come out those blocks at the top there. Oh, monsters. I forgot monsters happen. So that's the downside of having night vision on all the time. You forget that night's a thing. So with night vision off, or night vision on, I guess, you don't realize that it's night, and then mobs spawn because you don't realize that it's dark until mobs. So yeah, that's on me. But we should get a feral flare lantern down here to limit the amount of mob things happening. And I guess I can probably F7, yeah, to see what's up. But that works for now. So the 2 standard turbine rotor deals, right? Doing them entirely off camera I think was cool. You guys will have to let me know. Okay. And then Terra steel's looking like it's coming along. So are we almost there? Why, yes we are. We now have an everlasting guilty pool, which means I can replace this whole setup with one single block, which is the creative mana pool. So just break this dude, plop down the everlasting guilty pool, spark goes back, spark augment goes back, and then we have unlimited mana. Boom. That is nice. That is super cool. I'd very much like a pack where you get your unlimited stuff earlier on, and it's more focused around building certain contraptions. I don't know. I guess your equivalent exchange packs are kind of like that a little bit. But yeah, that would be cool. But anyway, we've got that, and now I'm going to make... don't forget we have mana tesseracts, so if we want to do that teleporty thing, we could do that. The other thing that I thought might be cool, now that we have pretty much unlimited mana, would be to fill up our mana tablet. So I could do that with a spark, right? Like that one, dispersive, right? Yeah, dispersive is the one that I want. That will send mana into my tablets, any that I have in my inventory, right? And then they'll fill up. That is awesome. So how cool is that? I like it. So unlimited mana. That's cool. All right, let's get back to nuclear reactor-y things. Does that sound like a plan? All right, I think I've got this working out pretty well. And I'm doing something slightly different than I usually do. So we're going to want some mechanical pipes here. And you should be rotary condensating. And where's my flux points? That should be cool. Hey. And you, and bypass limit. So now you should be cool. And mechanism. Electrolytic separators are just an annoying sound. All right, so you should be turning water into water vapor. And I would like you to push that. I forget what direction you're facing. But how about gases output out the front? That's looking good. Are you getting something? You got water. That's nice. All right. So this guy needs from the back. How about red? Right? Because this guy's making water vapor, so he should be the sulfuric acid, water vapor, and sulfur trioxide. Right? So if I wanted to, I could probably make him be input 2. Right? For gases, he might be this way. For gases, just output everywhere. There you go, water vapor. Nice. Yeah. I don't know what direction he was, but maybe I should know better. Boy, which rotary condensator were you? Nope, apparently not that one. Works for me. Alright, so now you're doing this, and your side config is such that gas is out the front only. Perfect. Cool. And then you're getting plenty of water. So you're doing that. You're making this. I would like you to void excess hydrogen. You're going to make oxygen. And let's make sure you're facing the right direction here. Right? So your job... I don't want you putting hydrogen there, though. I know there's a way to clear this. I always forget what it is, though. The easiest way to clear it is to make another one. Alright, so you get water, and then I would like you to push your gases cyan and cyan, right? This is only oxygen that I care about. There you go, oxygen. Nice. Okay, so check this out. Charcoal... Am I a sleeping mat? Not really. I should get one of the rain shields over there for the reactor, but meh. I'll just sleep through the night. It was a thunderstorm anyway. So charcoal can make sulfur for us, right? And he could push that forward. That would kind of be cool. And your side config for items can be such that items come in the back and output out to the right. So then you'll get oxidized into sulfur dioxide. Perfect. And then you're pushing out the front. So your orange should be the back for gases. Right? And you, for oxygen, Let's get mechanism upgrades. At least for you. Cool. So now you'll fill up quickly, and hopefully you'll be able to supply both of these with the right amount of oxygen. Right now you've got sulfur trioxide, so your gases will output to the right, and your red gas will come in on the left. Cool. And you're making sulfuric acid, which will push out to the right. Okay, and now your sulfuric acid comes in here, and that's where fluorite comes in. He goes over to here, hydrofluoric acid. Uranium will come in here. You're going to output out the left. You're going to input on the right, and gases out on the left. And then you two combine to make uranium hexafluoride, which combines to make fissile fuel. Cool? And what if we just put this guy right here? I like the sound of that. Tubes. And I would like them to be smallish, so that if I have to break them at some point in the future, you know, I always do that with my radioactive waste stuff. So now you should be filling up on fissile fuel. Sweet. And shortly we'll be able to activate this thing, and that works for me, right? So now we can charge this. So like we do have sulfur, but we have a lot more charcoal, well, much more, you know, automated. So if this guy's going to make sulfur for us, that's kind of cool. I think I just forgot a power line for him, because I've actually never done it this way, or if I have, I don't remember. So I didn't have an extra power line there ready for him. Cool. Well, that looks good. And then we should be able to get some good tubes going on. Ultimate pressurized tubes. Let's get the flux plug. Cool. For the generators network. Okay, and then we should get a trash can, because I always do this whenever I do one of these, just in case. Flux point on the generators network, but you're going to be priority -1,000, right? So when you have excess energy on the generators network, dump it right in there. Cool. All right, then we can get our ultimate tubes. We can connect these guys. We can get let's get 2 more fission ports, because I always want to have a few extra here. And everybody always yells at me not to dump excess on my reactor turbine. And as many times as I've made these, I always forget. I always forget why. But it feels like everybody's always like, no, Dyer, you don't want to dump excess. Two, 1, 2. That looks good to me. Yeah? Should we try it? Alright, I'm going to give you a rate of 1 millibucket per tick. And activate. And we're rocking. 22,000 R for tick. Not bad. Now, just for giggles, let's make sure that 50 were... maybe I should do the heat thing. The safety shutoff valve. Yeah, it might be a smart move right now. So let's have you turn off for a sec. Okay. Alright, so for logic here, what we're going to have is... You can be the activation signal, you can be the high temperature output, and then you will be the lever that controls whether it's on or not. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is we're going to say, since this is the output, we're going to want it facing this way. Right? So if B turns on, we want to keep it off. So toggle it off. If B is off and C is on, we want it to be on. And anything else in that pattern should be keep. Does that sound cool? Okay. So if B ever turns on, we want it to be off. B is on equals off. A doesn't really matter, so we don't care about anything with the A's. A will always be off. So it's really these top four that we care about, right? So if B is on and C is on, then we want it to be off as well. So I think if I do that, what'll happen is, we're going to test this. Okay, if I hit this button, it'll turn on. If I hit that button, it'll turn off and it'll stay off. Cool? So if this guy emits a redstone signal, it'll toggle this off, right? And then even when this redstone signal turns off, he will keep the previous signal. So he'll stay off. So this is a turn off and stay off, as opposed to a turn off and then when it cools down, turn back on, and then it overheats and it turns back off. Like it'll flip back and forth. But with this keep mechanic, I think it's a cool way to do it. Cool. So now if I brought you up to 50, we're going to run out of fuel pretty quickly, but our heat seems stable. So that's nice. Okay, so I'll turn you off now. We're going to continue producing fissile fuel, but I haven't fully automated that. I'll take care of that between episodes here. All right, I'm going to call that wrapping up point. So for now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Nice, quick reactor up and running. When we come back next episode, let's get nuclear waste processing and the SPS going super quick. Sound like a plan? All right, for now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.